we look forward to presenting that to you virtually as well. We'll give you a moment now just to share the stream. If you need to let anyone know about the stream that's not on Facebook, please let them know to head to the Victorian Naidoc website, which is vicnaidoc.com.au, and on the opening page is where you'll find the stream. We also tomorrow are releasing kids' tees, coronavirus masks and tote bags, all designed by the lovely Madison Connors of Yirgjhilya Creative. We look forward to seeing you all decked out in the next couple of days. Let us know if you have got some of the merch. It's a limited edition release, 2020. Unfortunately, we don't have our big merch day on the March, so we thought we'd design something special for you all. Create a Victorian Naidoc 2020 Protect Country tee and merch range, including tote bag, masks. This live stream of the awards will start very shortly, so settle on in. We hope you enjoy.
Streams run down your face. I'm dreaming what you dreamed. Maybe one day we'll whitewash our disparities. Red, gold, and black and blue. I look at the man inside. I look at you. Red, gold, and black and blue. Until then I return my heart to you.
We'll just give you one last few moments to share the stream. Send the vicnaidoc.com.au link to any of the elders out there or anyone that's not on Facebook. Happy Naidoc to everyone. If you'd like to join the chat, please do comment under the chat line. We can see the chat. Shout out to you, Mimagard, Amanda Palmer. If you'd like to send us a message, we're happy to see those chats pop up. Everyone loves the Marindas. Just give you a few more moments. All right, let's get on with this event. Thank you so much all for tuning in, for sticking around, for being patient for our changes. Oh, the Marindas, how good are they? I'd like to welcome everyone to the awards part 2, and to do a welcome, Uncle Colin Hunter, Wurundjeri Elder.
I'd like to start off by acknowledging that this evening we are meeting on the lands of my ancestors, the Wurundjeri people. And I'd like to take this opportunity to pay my respects to my elders, both past, present and emerging, elders from all nations. But I particularly want to pay my respects to all the Aboriginal community members and elders here tonight. Wominjeka, welcome. Wurundjeri Ballik, Yirgjhilya Lawrie. The Wurundjeri people welcome everyone to land today. Wurundjeri, no, Budumbo War, Kundi Nangnak, Dubunum Bik, Bulik War, Tilikan. The Wurundjeri people want to look after and protect the land as they did long before. Wurundjeri country extends from the inner city of Melbourne, goes across the mountains of the Great Dividing Range, west to the Werribee River, south to the Mordialloc Creek and east to Mount Borbor. And the Wurundjeri people are part of the Kulin Nation and of the Wurrung language group. Hello, my name is Colin Hunter Jr. or Willert, meaning possum. A name given to me by my grandmother's young boy. I'm a proud and passionate 7th generation Wurundjeri man and a direct descendant of Bibijan, who was Nalangeta or head of the tribe at time at first settlement. And it's through my grandmother, Gumbriar, meaning white dove, or only tiny or Nanish was known to us mob, that I've got Aboriginal culture and heritage in my life today, so for that I say thanks, Nan. My grandmother was one of the last of the Aboriginal people born in the early 1920s, up at Corranderk Mission in Hillsville, before she got pushed up the Barham on the river in New South Wales. In Aboriginal culture, a great deal of respect is given to the land, the plants and the animals alike. And while you're in Wurundjeri country, you're most welcome to the traditional lands and the waterways of the Wurundjeri people. So Wominjeka, welcome. Awards, eh? Gee, it's been a tough year for us, mob. 2020, COVID-19, missing our community, missing our family, but staying connected through new ways, through the computer, But you young mob out here tonight collecting awards, I want to congratulate all the people that are collecting awards and all the people that were nominated. But you young mob, what I see is I see a future for us mob. I see all you young leaders out here. And I see you as smart, and you're learning, and knowledge is power. And I've got confidence, that when I go to my dreaming, that you mob will be here to take over. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. It's a theme this year's Naidoc. And you're going to carry that theme right through for us mob. Gee, it's been a tough year for us mob. 2020, COVID-19, missing our community, missing our family, but staying connected through new ways, through the computer, But you young mob out here tonight collecting awards, I want to congratulate all the people that are collecting awards and all the people that were nominated. But you young mob, what I see is I see a future for us mob. I see all you young leaders out here. And I see you as smart, and you're learning, and knowledge is power. And I've got confidence, that when I go to my dreaming, that you mob will be here to take over. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. It's a theme this year's Naidoc. And you're going to carry that theme right through for us mob. Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
Wurundjeri, Wurundjeri, Narapu, 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 Wurundjeri, Wurundjeri, Narapu, 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 Narapu. Taranga, Taranga Peak, Punjula, Punjula, Willamu, 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 Willamu. Taranga, Taranga Peak, Punjula, Punjula, Willamu, 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 Willamu. wuro 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 nga 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 murmut pik wuronga wuronga ngolo 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 murmut pik wuronga wuronga ngolo 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 ban bik yumurala yumurala murenda 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 ban bik yumurala yumurala murenda 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 pik tuwe yambulak yambulak ngarka 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 pik tuwe yambulak yambulak ngarka 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 piku teru nururu ngarembel 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 piku teru nururu ngarembel 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 ngarembel
Ngata, Victorian Naidoc Community, Natarsha Stacey, Victorian Naidoc Chairperson. Just on behalf of the committee, we want to welcome you back to part 2 of the awards presentation. Thank you to everybody who tuned in on Friday night for part 1. Just to recap, on Friday we heard from Chantel Thompson, Lewis Brown, Monica McDonald, Jordan Kamara Edwards, Matthew Gardner and Hayley Bone. So tonight we'll be hearing from Natarsha Bamblett, Cienan Muir, Christopher Saunders, Adam Troy Francis and Isabella Atkinson. So yeah, we want to remind everybody that the full interviews are going to be on our website in the media section and on our YouTube channel. So that's great. That gets to be the voice of community and hear direct from them what it was like and what Naidoc means to them.
Abala balawa Kadi Badara Pali Pirkamana
It feels absolutely amazing to win this award, especially for the title. My mum is a major role model in my life, so to have a thing because of her weekend was just perfect, the perfect year to win it.
Because of her we can means the absolute world to me. My mum's an amazing lady. I'm dyslexic and I struggle so much at school. So being able to have her to help me and guide me through my struggles and to be able to pay for my football and basketball and netball and all my other sports is just like, oh my God. There's like not even words to describe it, no words at all.
Naidoc Week means community and getting together and having fun, and it's just a time to celebrate and showcase how beautiful our Aboriginal heritage and culture is.
Family and community. It's a bond we share that, yeah, just so unbelievable.
It probably feels like many moons ago, as does 6 months ago feels like a year ago. But can you take us back to 2019, that lead up to the award? What led you to being nominated, and how was that experience for you?
But it was more like an emotional thing for me, and I suppose, as everyone knows, because I've been I've been a chatterbox about this subject, but moving here, I never really felt like I fit in, and never really felt like this was home. It just felt like I was here to do music and study and things like that, and then that was it. And then actually a few months before I was crowned Miss Naidoc, I was welcomed onto country by Uncle Bill Nicholson, and it's kind of like a weird coincidence. Almost maybe not even a month later, I win Miss Naidoc, and I was like, that's kind of weird. But I kind of think it makes sense because everywhere I've traveled, I've always been welcomed on country and things like that, and maybe I don't know, to me it felt like winning Miss Naidoc was kind of okay, yep, we see you, welcome, and this is your home too, and it felt like Melbourne is my second home, guiding them.
Yeah, it's important for growth, encouragement, and that week would have been, wouldn't have just stopped on that first day that you got the award. What was the week like for you? And how did you manage it?
So tired. Yeah, I remember being so tired and thinking, it's just 1 week, and then it turned out to be 2 weeks, and and then I thought, no, look, it's just it's just that time of the year, this is better than Christmas. I've got to get up and do it, and look good and do it. But I do remember just the week after, maybe even a few months after, it was kind of like riding a high, and then I think maybe I did crash after a few months. Yeah, but I also remember being in hustle mode, we want to get this done, and because I'm Miss Naidoc now, you can use that to get this. I remember just being in hustle mode, this is a really good time to get stuff done. If we need support for music stuff, we can get it done now, and blah blah blah.
How's that improved or affected your music and your drive to do other things in that hustle, and has it kind of flowed on?
I think it was kind of like a kicker, you better get it done now, you know what I mean? There's no other better time than now to get things done. And I just released my my debut single back in back in July, and that song Bugana was something that I wrote back in 2014, and I'd been sitting on it and kind of taking my time molding it into what it is now. And I think it was kind of like a confidence-based thing. I wasn't that confident in myself or in my music abilities and things like that. And since winning, it's kind of we can actually do this, and it's something that is achievable for me.
Welcome, Tash Bamblett. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing really well. I'm looking forward to the end of the year celebration.
That's cool. Now, it was, what year did you win your award?
2017. Hearing my name get called out, it was that moment of seeing their faces, of parents of, the woman that they raised. It was a real blessing moment. My dad was a very emotional man, and he cried. And
from that day onwards, in your belief of yourself?
That as a young girl, I've always felt in this leadership role, that I just loved being able to stand up and speak. I didn't know, what it was that I had to say, but that come, within time of my life and my experiences of, the things that I was talking about. But I just loved, being in front of the class and telling stories and listening to stories and, going through that year, that was the real pivotal year of like, it changed my life. 2017 was when my life changed. I went from this young girl into a woman. I am powerful beyond measure, and I just got to believe in that, and the rest will come.
How much of an effect did it have on who you are this very day? I mean, it's been a few years ago, but what are you up to now, and how's it to connect back to that moment?
Yeah, well, 2017, I spoke at the front of a march on the Parliament stairs and in Parliament House. Now I'm sitting on the Treaty Assembly. You know, so if that doesn't say, you know, that being Miss Naidoc that year was a pivotal point and like building block of who I am and how I want to be a stand for my people, my culture, the rights, you know, and the movement of where we've come from to where we're going.
Not a new phrase anyone's heard in blackfellow community. What does that mean to you, and when you hear those words and say them yourself?
It speaks volume of thousands of ancestors, of generations. When I say that, I don't say that just for me. I say that for everyone that's come before me and everyone that will come after me. You know, honouring the ancestors and the history of our people, and then also making this statement for our children to come, that we are who we are and we always have been, and we have this connection to the land, and we have this connection to ourselves and to our culture, and that will always be there, you know. And for us not to ever forget that, and to forget those things of the strength, you know, the thriving times, and these amazing things that we get to celebrate about being Aboriginal and being, you know, in this country.
I guess let's start with getting your name read out. What can you capture those moments, and is it still embedded in your memory?
100%. I was sitting we were in the football club rooms of Richmond. It was at KGI, like, you know, how they have the Morris Rioli room there. We were up there, best feed being had. A lot of elders come out for it as well. A lot of important people that I didn't know. But no, and then sitting there, didn't have any idea. There wasn't many fellas in it. The people I were up against, I know them personally. And the brother boys, you know, the things they do in community, you always look at other people and think, that's amazing, you know, the stuff that they do. You know, it's really inspiring, and we lift each other up. So didn't expect it at all. Didn't expect my name to be ready out. Didn't expect, it was crazy. It was crazy.
And then the whirlwind starts. There's not much room for you to sit there and let it soak in. You're straight away there. You got. What was it like preparing a speech when you?
Straight away after we were all read out as the award winners, it was pretty much, come over here for a photo, come over here for a photo. And there was this one woman, Leslie. Love you, Leslie, if you're watching this. She absolutely dragged us everywhere in the nicest way. Yeah, she was like, when I say eyes on, I mean eyes on. You have to have eyes on me at all times. And when I say you smile. You know, very strict. It was a pretty strict timetable of trying to keep up with, you know, just being present, taking photos, because, you know, it's something to be celebrated. And as award winners, we're there to be an example, and people want to say hello, meet you. So you just got to keep up with it, I guess. Yeah, and then Auntie Rona want to rock up and give me extended time on it. So I was like, sweet. Longest rated, Mr. Naidoc. Put that on the sash. Might give my nana stitch that in there tonight, actually. I remember coming home a few days after we had the Vic Naidoc ball, like the official one in Melbourne. And the best time was coming home and they had the little Naidoc ball, just that like the RSL down here. And everybody was loving it, you know. It wasn't dressed up to the nines, but definitely like it felt good to bring something back to that community, and everybody was loving it, you know. Through the sashes, and you know, my cousins were wearing it. It was just a really cool thing because we hadn't seen that down there. We need to like acknowledge the opportunities that we get as young black fellas and take them up. I used to let, you know, people that would say to me, oh, why do black fellas get this? Why do black fellas get that? It's like, not saying we need all the advantages, but like any chance we get, we should be taking it up to, you know, better ourselves as a community. Because when we better ourselves individually, it lifts our whole community up in the same.
We are here with 2019 Pride LGBTQIA Plus winner, Adam Astro of the Victorian Naidoc Awards. Howdy.
Hello, everyone.
Thanks for joining us.
No, thank you. I'm really excited to actually have a good yarn with you fellas, you know, and the wider community because, you know, since COVID's been, you know, in the public eye, we've really had a bit of a, you know, challenge when it comes to being able to celebrate Naidoc Week. So I think it's great that we've been able to come together, you know, especially at a time when now Melbourne has, you know, just come out of you know, the COVID debacle, and now, you know, we're all sort of getting a little bit itchy and excited and a bit woodly for, you know, getting back into doing what we love doing, you know, and that's just embracing life, you know, and community and getting back there, you know. So, you know, I'm really excited to, you know, be able to share that, you know, and yeah, let you know what I've been up to. I just lost my grandmother the week, we buried her the week before Naidoc ball, and she was the oldest living Natarsha Bamblett, and she died at 92. So she won Elder of the Year the year before for South Australia, and I just felt like in that presence, you know, I've always been connected to mother, and I've always been connected to my grandmother and all of that. So, you know, I felt like they were behind me and they were with me, and it just seemed uncanny that, like, you know, all of these events had happened one after another through that shift of change and that spirit, you know, and that uplifting feeling that you get, and that energy I generally use when I perform, you know, it kind of lives through my body as a vessel. So I guess, you know, the one thing about, I remember that night was, you know, after performing and puffing and panting after doing a big, you know, high energy dance routine with a 5 meter rainbow serpent, you know, and taking my clothes off too. But, you know, it was great to be able to showcase that to the wider community. We have a lot to learn from people like myself, you know, that have, you know, literally throughout history pioneered a lot of colour movement throughout cultures. So I believe it's a really important thing for people to embrace that and just understand that.
That's brilliant. Always was, always will be this year's theme. What do you think about?
When I first heard it, I always think of it was the way of us going, always will, always was, always will be Aboriginal land. And I don't now see it like that. I always see it as being always was, always will be a proud Aboriginal First Nations Pawnee, you know? Always was, always will be, you know, there to, you know, be comfort and understanding and teach our young ones and educate others that, you know, we will always was and we always will be here, and that we'll always be part of Mother Earth and our beautiful country, you know. So I see it in many different lights now, you know.
We are here with 2018 Miss Naidoc, Isabella Atkinson. How you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. Let's dig right back to 2 years ago.
Oh, that night was just unbelievable. I still have moments where I'm just in the car with Mama and I just look at her and I go, oh my gosh, I still cannot believe that I was Miss Naidoc. It was such an emotional roller coaster. Just getting to the training day and to get to the interviews was so stressful. I almost chickened out of doing that because I was so stressed and so nervous.
Yeah.
And Mum was over the phone saying, if you come back to work, I'm going to flog you when you get home. So it was definitely a relief in the sense going there and knowing that I wasn't going to get flogged by Mum when I got home, and then a sense of relief also receiving it because I had really psyched myself up for it since I was a really little girl. As a lot of you know, my mum was Miss Naidoc 30 years ago. And ever since I was a little girl, I said to Mum, I'm going to do that. That's going to be me. So I had really put a lot of expectations on myself to get it. And it was just such a magical moment to get it. And also with the theme, because of her, I can. It was like, oh my God, like the stars had really aligned for me.
What changes in your life at that moment? Your position in the community, how does it change? Does it give you confidence to get an award that's by your community, for your community, within your community? Explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the confidence, it definitely skyrocketed, and not in an egotistical way either. It was more of like, oh my God, like elders in my community actually recognise me, and don't just recognise me for having the Atkinson last name, they actually recognise me for what I have done in just being, 18, and my responses to the questions. It was like, okay, well, elders believe in me, well then, okay, I can do this. And I also had to mature really quickly. I had to really grow up. I had to go from being the little 18-year-old girl who was in school, pushing through to the end of the year to now, okay, I'm going to be seen by a lot of people, community and non-community, by young ones and old ones. I've really got to, rise up to the occasion.
The week usually goes a bit of a blur for most of those awardees. What's some moments that you'll cherish forever in that week?
The moment I'll remember was seeing my family at the protest, at the march, seeing them there, and then I found out that my little cousin, my girl cousin, she said to me, I want to do that. I want to be you. And it got me really emotional because that's where I all started from. We'd literally come full circle in my family from my mum being Miss Naidoc, then to me, and then hearing my cousin say, I want to do that. I want to achieve that. And it was like, it got me quite emotional. I was like, okay, don't cry, you've got makeup on, like you can't cry right now. But yeah, it was just like, it was what I was wanting to achieve, to inspire young girls and boys to go for it, to give their hand at, Miss Naidoc, Mr. Naidoc, sports person, LGBTQIA+, all those awards and more. So it was like, oh wow, like that moment stuck the most for me.
So I was 20 at the time. I won my Mr. Naidoc award along with Yirgjhilya Bamblett, who was my Miss Naidoc. Look, it was a totally new experience for me. I did cop some flack during the awards night. I rocked up with a pantsuit, a cardigan, or like a jumper, and just some, I think my Converses at the time. So, Auntie Pam being on the committee and my mum having to drive me to the awards, I didn't hear the end of it.
Are you saying you should have worn Nikes?
I'm saying I should have did what my mother said and put a suit on and nice shoes. you know, growing up in the community, Naidoc is at the pinnacle of every event you go to. So I think in my mind and many other young people in the community, Naidoc is as good as it gets. And to win Mr. Naidoc was just the best thing to ever happen to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were quite shocked?
I was very shocked. I was up against some other amazing young men and I think growing up in the community, you do sort of hold this imposters syndrome where, you get these thoughts of, why am I here? You could pick any of these other young men and they would be amazing for it. But I think having won, that sort of reaffirms that you do belong in this community and you are as good as you think. And the community recognises that. I think beyond that, it helps a young person really know that they belong in the community and that people do look at the work that you're doing. And who you are as a young person in the community.
This year's theme always was, always will be, is chanted at the front of those marches. What does those words mean to you and being this year's Naidoc theme?
I think it really reinforces that our culture is not something that's stuck in the past. Our culture is continuously evolving and, we're not going anywhere. It always was, always will be Aboriginal land, and that's something that gets instilled in you at a young age. So everywhere you walk in this country, you're walking on Aboriginal land, and with that comes a certain level of respect for community and a certain level of acknowledging the diversity that we have in this country.
So, the Victorian Naidoc Committee are very excited to announce something pretty special for next year. So we've had a chat and we feel it's highly appropriate and really important to start acknowledging people who are out there in the regions, out on the ground, caring for country and protecting country. We would like to introduce a new award into the awards section of Naidoc Week. And that award is the Caring for Country Award. So we'll do a call out for all awards early next year. Start thinking about who you'd like to nominate, and we're just really excited to bring this through. To really mark this occasion,